Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to Sunday Shogi, where we analyze your games. Today, in my home, we don't have much sun, therefore, the title sounds a little bit depressing, but it's winter. Winter is depressing, but today we're to fight the winter depression with a lot of fun with Shogi, right, guys? So, here we go. Hello, everyone. Yes, we're ready to submit the Kifu. If you guys have Kifu to submit, you can post the link in the chat somewhere around there, or here, I guess. And I shall open it in my browser and then go one by one. If we don't have time to watch everything, we shall do it on Discord after the stream, or are we gonna try to do something? Hello, Isagashi Fu. So yeah, hello everyone. Hello Cleon, hello Tom Blunt, Kent, Lady, New Galaxy, Super Saiyan, Pinoy many people today. Hey, everybody's so excited. Cool. Hi Yellow, How Justice, Mark Shaw, and Isagashi Fu. Maybe I mentioned you twice, but welcome as well. So if let me see. So I have Kifu of Justice, I have Kifu of Yellow, I have Kifu of Lily, Time Zombie, I guess. CO, I will have Kent's Kifu, if I understood correctly, that's the proper link. Justice Kifu twice, so I'm gonna delete one of them. We have Tom Blunt's, and we will have the Kifu that Lily sent to me before stream started, because it was some important position we have to discuss about, but it's behind my face, so that's great. And what I sent, yep, it's here, Lily. All right. How are you guys? How has been your weekend? Did you guys join the weekly Shogi ladder? I've seen there's some game going online right now. Here, Ghoston is playing against Sirius. If you guys don't know what weekly Shogi ladder is, you should join our Discord and check it out in the Shogi ladder channel. This is 81st week of Shogi ladder. It's an amazing activity made by Adun. 81 weeks, guys. How many months is that? Somebody calculate that. Over a year, I think. If not 2 years. Yeah, I did won both my games, but felt bad since it was the only because of Urishina. No, it's because you played the Urishina correctly, Sagashifu. Don't take it away from yourself. All right. Lily, you had a questions to your position, so I need to know what questions that were. So if you guys saw our Shogi Discord, we had a certain game with certain questions to it. So we will try to answer those questions. Oh, and I prepared this so we can also see what the computer thinks. So maybe we can do it. I'm gonna move my face somewhere else. Hello, face. All right. I will be staring to the right side. That's weird. Magical button, magical button, magical button. And horizontally, hopefully. Horizontally. Vertically. That's the wrong one. Horizontally. That's the one. Horizontally. Yep. All right. Now I'll be looking toward the correct direction. So let's go with that. You guys don't see the full board. Now you do see. Unfortunately, you don't see the full board. Like, it's very small on your screen. So we're gonna keep it like this. And we're gonna put you like somewhere here, chat. Somewhere here. Or maybe we can make you smaller. All right, you're gonna eat the corner of this lens, okay, chat? I know you're hungry. You can eat the corner of the lens. So we have I accidentally set the wrong move number as well. It's a couple moves before the position you showed since Ibisha didn't have castle, didn't finish castling yet. Says Lily. Time Zombie says something about watching Chessmaster, learn Relishino, and immediately started picking one dance within a couple of days. Yep. I mean, that's what happens when a chess master tries shogi. They're usually good at tactics, but strategy is something they're lacking. Oh god, the hype train is close. Mifa, thank you for the resubscription. Cleon Victor, thank you for the resubscription. 9 and 6 months, thank you guys. But the train is one step away. You guys know what happens when the train comes. When the train comes, the mighty Guardians of the Harbor appear. They donate during the train stream, and they get a special role on our Discord. And the train is coming. Yeah! Trains are evil sentient beings that try to destroy the harbor, if you guys didn't know. And the higher level the train, the smaller it becomes. And if it hits the harbor, there is something funny happening on our Discord usually. So, or something troublesome, like once the train messed up our channel order and it was hard to find anything. Okay, I have the game with Mifa. So yes, now we have train, guys. We have train. It's coming for us. You hear that in the distance? So if anybody wondered, how is it that the train hits the harbor without the trucks? Well, those trains are evil. They don't use the trucks. They just go straight toward the harbor like a missile that goes toward the target. Yep, it's an evil train. Hey, thank you, Mifa. Mifa is protecting the harbor now with cheering 5 bits. In the meantime, I shall continue my job, not being distracted by the train. And Lily, which position did you mention? You didn't call 4 moves earlier. Okay, when the king was on 2-2. Gotcha. So we have this game. Which is 4-5 rook. Oh god, how do I delete the arrows? I have no idea. The king is on 2-2 still. Alright, so what's about this position? Oh, thank you, Marksha, subscribing with Prime for 2 months. Thank you. Please also tell me, guys, if your nickname is different than your nickname on Discord. Tell me your nickname so that I can give you the role on the Discord as a protector, the guardian of Harbor, yeah? We have 4 minutes 40 seconds to go, and there is... Oh, level 2 train. So train becomes smaller. His wheels fell off. He's going slower, but still unstoppably coming toward the harbor. So yeah, Lily, what about this position? You wanted to discuss this position, right? So according to the computer, that's 76. It's basically equal. Well, so for Anaguma, basically your idea is to make a solid castle, I guess. So in the game they played this. I would play the gold first. This is like natural development. But yeah, the fact that this gold is here. So the computer proposes this move because there's a knight drop here to attack the gold sometimes. But generally this is not the timing where you have a plan. As a Furibisha, you have to be careful of this line. Thank you so much, New Galaxy, for cheering 100 bits. Your name is different, but what's your name? You have to... If you cheered something to protect the harbor, you will have to tell me your name whenever it's privately on Discord. Or here in the chat. You are Pepsi. Alright. New Galaxy will be Pepsi. So you will get a golden road called Guardians of the Harbor Generation 5, I believe, because number of the train decides the number of generation, yes. So we had 4 trains before that, this is the 5th train. How does Mr. Jeff Bezos send too many trains? Who's Jeff Bezos? I don't understand, Time Zombie. I like trains! Yeah, but you know what happens in that animation when you say I like trains? it hits the person next to you. So yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. So yeah, generally you want to finish your Anaguma, right? So yeah, and it seems to me like it's either that's rather Ibisha that's going to have the attacking hand here. Superhero backstory. You beat the trains using trains. New galaxy flying over the harbor. He sees a train and he says, "I like trains," and then the train appears from nowhere and crashes with the trains running at the harbor. That's how it's gonna work. So you create the good trains. So there are good trains. Okay, good to know. New galaxy trains. All right. If it's new galaxy trains, does it mean it's a space train then? Or maybe there's are like trains from another galaxy, you know? Space train from another galaxy. Hi, Abigail. We are getting very distracted right now. Hype train is coming to the harbor. 1 minute, 20 seconds left. We're gonna get hit by the second biggest train, it seems. Which means there will be something awful happening at the Discord. So yeah, the reason why we move this gold first is we connect those two pieces together. If we move this is still disconnected, right? I'm very confused with the graph. Yep. Pepe also, all right. But did you didn't subscribe, right? Or you did Prime, was it? I'm confused. I don't see on my list, basically. Pepe also. So gonna go to 0. That's what you mean, this one? Well, basically you wanna add pieces to your Anaguma in order to defend it, yep. Ooh, somebody gifted one sub to Beporso. Alright, Time Zombie, got you. And the Hype Train level 1 emote came to be. Everybody who helped to defend the harbor got cool new emotes. You can share it now in our chat. Everyone who either cheered or subscribed or gifted will have a special guardian on our Discord. That will be Time Zombie. If he wants Beperoso to be the one considered as guardian, we can add him as well. We have New Galaxy, Marksha, Shogi Mifa, Tom Blantz, and Cleon Victor. Thank you so much, guys. You shall be added on our Discord as the defenders of the harbor. Thank you for the following, Boppy. All right, but yeah. Third power. I don't know how to approach this question, Lily. My simple answer is Mikakaso attack then. If you want to attack now because the king is like not finished castling, then 4-5 rook might have trouble doing so, but the computer is suggesting this move. I would need to log in. Beporsa is gifting 1 tier sub. Woo! Nimu is gifting 1 sub to Tarusha, and Beproso is gifting to Tohichi. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's start another hype train. Oh god. I don't know what would happen to harbor if 2 trains hit the harbor. But yes, as you guys see, there is a smoke behind. I know you don't see, but there's a smoke at the harbor because the train actually hit the building. Of course, we will have to assess the damage after the stream, and then we will see what's going to happen on the Discord. They were able to recognize Hungarian Rhapsody number 2 within seconds. I see. So the Lishogi engine which players were talking about must have been wrong. Alright, so let's see what Lishogi said. Where do I have the Lishogi open? I don't have the Lishogi open. Yep. Okay. But the Lishogi is saying nothing here, right? So it's this move. And we open the computer and we gonna... I clicked the wrong button. Multiple lines, multiple CPU, maximum memory. Close the menu. I wrote on my blog. I made a comparison between Lishogi and Play Shogi. Play Shogi seem to have good ideas as well. Lishogi has many ideas, and unfortunately, we don't know which of those arrows is the best. But it seems that all of them are equal, maybe because this one is here. So generally, that depends on your playstyle, I guess. What you wanna do. Here it says, right? So I'd consider this move. So again, prepare the Anaguma, right? Rather than attacking. I like train kit, yeah. I teach a woman to play shogi. She was a very strong player. First time she saw me playing against Anaguma online, she said shogi is almost impossible to win. Yep. Well, if you imagine you can make tokens, if you know that, it's kind of easy to break it, but... Play shogi is better, slight in your experience. The fun thing, it only takes 5 seconds to like think about the position. They both using different computer, I think. They're using Fairy Stockfish here, which isn't a shogi computer, or is it? While Play Shogi is using Yaneurao. Lurking, welcome, Tochi. Tohi, I guess. One time the Lishogi gave plus 500 and the Play Shogi gave minus 500. After 10 moves of the best moves, Lishogi engine became minus 100 and the Play Shogi was unchanged. Yeah, so I guess we can trust Play Shogi more here. And Mifa confirms that Lishogi computer is not good. So let's go with that. Like Stockfish, I don't think that's a Shogi computer, so... It clearly says chess variant. Chess variant engine. So it's not even shogi engine, it's a chess variant, whatever that means. Example shogi though. So it plays many games. So the Play Shogi is like specialized in shogi. The Lishogi one is specialized, has no specialization, it's just many games. So guys, if you want more reliable one, it's this one. Yeah. So maybe that's where the confusion came from, Lily, for the noob game. Maybe they used the Lishogi engine and it confused them. I wish to know what happens after this move. I have this opened on my logged in account somewhere. Let me find it. So after the rook move, it continues Anaguma, and then moves the bishop back to open the rook line. So that's the plan, perhaps, Lily. One possible plan. So this side will go here, Anaguma, and start attacking here. Maybe that's a variable plan to attack the knight's head. If you want an aggressive line, yeah. If you want less aggressive, then it would be this pawn, this gold, stuff like that. Maybe use the rook here. That would be my plan, but from my experience, that's not good enough. And I don't play Anaguma much, so I don't know exactly. But according to the computer, that's a possible aggressive line. We played 2 even games. Whoops. Mifa plays too many games. He doesn't remember all of them. But I know that yellow is improving a lot because of Mifa teaching, so that's really good to see. So Lily, hope that answers your question. It was very similar idea. It had to believe that immediately bishop 9-5 would be stronger than continuing to castle. Yeah, but oh, you mean like here even? They're gonna defend with gold, no? So instead of castle, you are going for the bishop on the edge. Let's see what Play Shogi Engine says. It says on my screen bishop 8-8 still. If I play, so it's 52 score. If I go 9-5 instead, they will move the gold up, which is gonna be equal. So it is a possibility. But okay, so what's going to happen is this. The rook goes back to some square, 7-6, and then you end up castling anyway. So they're just matter of style, I guess. By human playing, I would human intuition, I would really like to have to force the opponent to play the gold here. So I really like your idea, Lily. Yeah, but I moved it by hand, Time Zombie, this time. I didn't predict we would use Play Shogi. But I adapt. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give Lily a few seconds to type a new message about this game, and then we're gonna go to another game by Tom Blantz. I'm gonna download it in the meantime. Then we'll have Justice. Then we'll have Kent and Seov. Finally Panic. Not finally. We have more. We have Eon. Mifa. Oh, against Matt. Alright. And Nimue at the very end. That's how you felt. Cool. You have a good feeling then, Lily. Yeah, this is a Tetsuji, guys. If you ever play third 5 rook, this is a cool Tetsuji to like move the bishop out with tempo. I guess one of the concerning things could be that you want to keep the bishop on this line to keep it more active rather than on the edge. As you saw after rook exchange, you know, the gold... No, not this one. After this move, the bishop is kind of stuck on the edge, so perhaps this is why the computer is not liking this line, yeah? But often it's a good Tetsuji to exchange this pawn with tempo. Your real name is Tom, alright. I assumed it's Tom, yeah. Why 9-4 was not played earlier? That's a good question as well. Maybe the opponent should have considered it. Mifa is mentioning, guys, to defend against this bishop, to push this pawn. But one could argue that you want to prioritize the castle. So this is why they didn't push it early. But often it's a good move. It's called static rook tax. It's a move that doesn't give you value, but you have to play it often to avoid these attacking lines. So if you're a bishop player, be careful about this bishop and prevent it by paying the tax, yeah? As a fully bishop player, you don't want to answer this pawn, yeah? Because then the tax would be for free. You want to utilize on that pass somewhere else. Okay, we're gonna go to Tom Bland's game, who is Sentence, a rated game, even game. Oh god, the button sounds. Please stop 81 dojo. Alright. Wait for the game, study room. Tom got the... Ta-da! And I'm now as a black. Woo! Alright, new overlay. We are all happy and excited because of it. Said in the most unexciting voice. Alright. So we're gonna put Tom here and we're gonna go to the beginning. Tom, do you have any questions? You played very okay in this game, but I know I'm gonna get roasted for turning a 3-move Tsume into 7. No, I mean, Tsume, you know, in the... like when we solve Tsume in a book, we really want you to find the shortest variation. But practically speaking, it's better to have a Tsume that's not in a real game because the result is the same. So as long as you find a reliable way to checkmate the king, that's fine. It's fine. You hate that game? Which game? Pot? Also, please roast me not to attack my opponent. All right, Mifa, we shall roast you then. You hate Shogi. Well, that's your opinion. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. If you came to change your mind about Shogi, that's the best place to do so. Even Telmarch would say stuff like, I'm not sure if this is Tsume, but clearly the only move I can play. Yeah. Alright, so let me start from the beginning. We have 4-5 rook versus 3rd-5 rook. That's a double swinging opening. And this time we take care of this bishop line early. If you guys move the king first, it's dangerous because this pawn push will expose our knight. And it is a Joseki, but it's quite... no, it's not a Joseki because bishop is unprotected. Alright, let me explain it easier. If we move the king first and something like this happens, our lance is under attack, we cannot defend it with the silver. We will be forced to move the knight. And then the rook coming here, that's bad for us. Yeah, I know that it appeared in Time Zombie stream, I think. This is bad for us because this defensive knight is defensive and it's good knight because it defends the square. Now, it moved away, which means you have one less defender of the square. And also this knight will become a target in the future. So, for example, we move here, rook goes here, and immediately we have the attack on the knight's head. That's something we don't want to happen, right? Now we will probably end up with a weird position. Something like this. Maybe we're gonna try to escape, but the knight is going to die anyway, right? And this pawn will be a great vanguard pawn for your opponent, maybe immediately destroying your camp, right? Yeah. You did get criticized. But that's another whole story, yeah? I'm just explaining the position. So this is why Tom did a good job, moving this silver first. This time if this pawn is pushed, the bishop comes, we can simply move the silver up. And the opponent just wasted a pawn, yeah? Yes, Tom. You're here, right? You got it, right? I switched the board. Like this. Center is on the top. You're on the bottom. Yeah. So you did good job. You was this... really? You're the center though. Alright, my mistake. Let me reload it. My mistake. Tom is black actually. Gotcha. My mistake. First time I made this mistake. Thanks for pointing out. Alright, so the Tom's opponent did a good job by defending. And Tom is here playing 3rd-5 rook. You're confused. Tom is black actually. He's playing a center. Alright, so let's comment this move. This is too early, Tom, because you want to keep the gold on the back to defend your backline. You want to move your silver first and your king first. Just a general rule. If you do that, this side becomes weaker. Immediately there is no punishment, but it's a good feeling to like defend the other. But no, I'm over criticizing. It's okay. Just play it. It's okay. I'm over criticizing. It's good because your opponent is attacking here. Let's go with that. We're going for Mino Castle. Not Mino. Alright, we're going for Nanaguma, I assume. So there is an option to play like this and then put your king here without castling up to here. So you just keep the king here. That's one castle called Mino Castle. But you go all the way to the Anaguma, right? Not Anaguma. Alright. I would expect Anaguma here, yeah? So what you're doing is exchanging rook pawn. That's cool. Yeah, floating rook. Floating rook is better than this rook. And because we have a low castle, look how powerful this horizontal rook movement is, yeah? If the silver were to move away, we can always attack this square. It's a good position, yeah? So now, okay, so it seems you're playing this castle. That was the plan. All right. So you could have went for Anaguma. So like this, yeah. The reason why we keep those two golds like here instead of the typical Anaguma, which is here, is that it's a swinging rook. The opponent's attack is coming here, so we want the defenders over here, yeah? If the gold would be here, it wouldn't help this square. It's not peerless gold. Ah, yeah, the opponent has a peerless gold, yeah. Because the opponent is playing low shape. Yes, Abigail points out good thing. If the opponent have a different shape, like a Yagura, then the rook would be under a lot of pressure. The silver, at some point, you know, the silver will be able to pressure the rook. So, because the opponent is playing low position, our rook is safe. So it's an okay shape. Now you're going to try to exchange another pawn. Okay. So one point of concern is that your gold is hanging. And then we're trying to find a good attacking shape. One of the attacking shapes you can make is to exchange here. The other one is to put the silver here. Depends what you have planned. You're going here, which closes your bishop line. But you're playing Anaguma, so I assume that's part of your plan. Here, here it's a good timing to exchange because they block the rook path. So if you were to exchange it here, for example, they could push this pawn here, exchange it first, and then do stuff. But here it's a good timing to do so because they block the rook path. Unless you don't want to. Yeah, okay. So you want to save a move, put the silver here, then exchange. That's also fine. Okay, the silver going up. We have two defenders here. It's great. So now we're gonna take. So the opponent had the choice to exchange the bishops. They didn't do that. We also had a chance to exchange the bishops. But if we do so, the knight is going to attack, so we decide not to. If the opponent were to exchange the bishops, they could have dropped it here. But then we go here. So the silver is hanging, promoting the bishop, loses there a silver. So it wouldn't be good. All right. So seems okay. Do we have tataki? Where, and when? Can't. I don't know why when I play this in double swinging rook game, I prefer not to exchange the 7-5 pawn, but I let my opponent decide if she wants to exchange it. That's also an option. Mifa is explaining some more difficult strategy. I'm gonna just mention briefly. Should we exchange this pawn or not? If we do, the opponent might build Yagura shape. If we don't, we can exchange it later. What do you mean, what analogy are the figures based on? I don't understand this question because my English sucks. What do you mean by analogy of the figures? 7-3 instead of 4-7. Ah, I see. So Kent is proposing this move. Now, what if we take it with the rook, Kent? Maybe another pawn drop, right? Then we take it with the bishop. This silver falls, but then this rook can be taken, or this bishop can be taken for free, right? Because you don't stones, gold corners, and send to battle because you don't put stones. Okay, you mean the kanji? The kanji like corner, like kaku, like yeah. I heard it's from Buddhism. that gold and silver are precious materials. Cassia is something used as well. Then incense is obviously connected to like temples. And king, which means in Japanese ball. If you ever went to Japan or you saw some pictures from Asia, there are those dragons that hold a transparent ball in their hand. If I remember correctly, it's something connected to purity. And then maybe pawns are like common people because it's a foot soldier. So that's what I heard. But now the bishop and the rook are the biggest mystery, perhaps, because how do they connect to Buddhism? I don't know. I heard one story that maybe they were like taken from the was it Dutch or was it Portuguese that were visiting Japan? Maybe they took it from chess. I don't know. The shogi history is full of mysteries, to be honest. But if you would like to read something about that, on shogi.pl we have this article by Frank Rubenkampf. Here, 1000 Years of History by Dr. Frank Rubenkampf, shogi.pl. You can check it here. He wrote quite an interesting article about this. I'm gonna post it in the chat. So if you're interested, I don't think he mentions the kanji, but if you're interested in the history in general, here it is. 上手ですね。No, Lily. Each kanji have a different meaning and different origin. Magical battle. No, I don't think so. I mean, the first shogi set was found under temple. We don't know. There's a lot of mysteries. But it was definitely inspired by one of the variations of Chaturanga. In this article, there was some discussion that maybe it was brought on ships through... and it was inspired by Makruk, which is Thai chess. And then perhaps they changed. Instead of giving shape to pieces, maybe they decided to put names like kanji on them. And my personal guess would be that maybe it was made by a monk and therefore he did Buddhist symbols on them, but there is no proof for that. It's just my guess. And no, the traditional pieces has actually 2 kanji, my friend. This would be the traditional piece. Yeah, I would assume that it's cheaper. So like this would be like traditional. So you have a foot soldier, gold general, silver general, jewel general, cassia horse, incense car, Ridvan. What's this Ridvan? Chariot, flying chariot, diagonal mover. No. Incense. Like the thing you put on fire and it gives... and then you use the smoke to purify yourself at the temple in Asia. Anyway, back to the game. Angle mover. So I think my other guess is, you guys know there's like Chushogi. They had those pieces there too, so maybe they just took it from there, and it literally just explains how the piece move. So angle mover, that's my guess. But then the cool thing is there's the dragon, yeah, which is also a powerful mythological creature. Yeah, it's fun, but I assume it's hard to watch because of the color. I don't like it. I don't like it on 81 Dojo because the color is too similar and it's really hard to look, and it doesn't seem like the font is the highest quality if it's so zoomed out. So I prefer those pieces because they're sharp Dobutsu. Yeah, that's also an option. Anyway, back to the game. So Ken mentioned this variation that you can do this pawn. If you do it directly here, then unfortunately the opponent will play here. But could be worth considering. Something you have to, yeah, look for. And I think your move is good too. You keep your castle intact. And generally, with your shape, what you want to do is ideally, I don't know if it's possible here, but ideal attacking shape is to have a bishop here or here. So as for example, here we can chase this silver away and put our bishop here. Depending on the situation, if we had enough pawns, we can force exchanges here. Unfortunately, this is not mean or shape. We would need one more pawn here. So let's assume we had one more pawn. And then we have techniques like this to like expose the king, yeah? So this would be one way of attacking. Having the bishop on this square, it's even more cool because then you have 3 pieces attacking this square versus 2 pieces defending, yeah? So this is something we should know about in the swinging rook. Hi, Necrodes. Yep. There is much more, yeah, many more fonts you can use in shogi pieces. I once found a super cool shogi font, then there is only one shogi piece of that set in the world that had like the dragon kanji looked like a phoenix or something. It was so beautiful. But there's only one set like this in the world. It's fuhyo, fu, which means pawn, foot, walking forward, step. So step, but fuhyo means steps, foot soldier. So this kanji basically is like soldier in this context. But alone it means step or walking. Rucksack for silver seems to match. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the dragon kanji is beautiful. All right. So you did utilize that strategy to get a silver exchange. That's cool. And now we're threatening to get a free silver. All right. So we did achieve something. I would take this silver. Oh, you took it. Oh my god, you did take it. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. It's great, Tom. Oh, here. I would consider dropping the pawn here to expose the king further. But the opponent has a rook drop, so I'm not sure. But so the reason why I would go for this is that our rook is in like perfect position to promote. Our king is safe, and we have a chance to continue punching at this weakened king. So it's really nice. You can never remember how to write it properly. You mean like the order of moves, order of lines, Abigail, or just how to write it in general? No, that's also cool. That's cool, Tom. It's cool. Mifa likes it too. This is great follow-up. This is great. This is like high down technique you're playing here. It's beautiful. You're gonna get a free knight or expose the king, basically. So here you force the opponent to use the lance that he's supposed to use in the attack in his defense. And on top of which you get a knight. On top of which the king is on the bottom square now. It's beautiful. How much worth did you get for that bishop sacrifice? I can recognize when reading it. I can never remember the strokes when I want to write it. Quick digression then. Shall we explain to Abigail? Quick rook kanji. Pom, 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 pom. It has wings. Yeah. Let's think of something stupid. So it has a wing. It has feathers. And then it's a tall bird with a beak and a leg and a second wing. Easy. Cra, cra. Got it, Abigail? You got it? Now you will remember forever? There's stroke too many? I don't think so. No, the circles are not part of the kanji. It's just to show the wings. Why does it... Guys, why does it have wings? Don't you see it? Wings. It has wings here, right? Circle to show you the wings. It has sideways wings. It's like the Egyptians were to try to draw a bird and they draw it without the perspective, flat. Yeah, because this kanji means to fly, basically. Fly and rise. But why would the kanji that means fly have fly in it? Fly, rise, fly. Okay. Flying chariot. Yep. Yeah, the bird doesn't have. You don't know. Okay. All right, back on track, guys. I get too easily distracted. So, good job, Tom. We continue attacking. So we do want to attack the gold. We can use cheaper piece, or we can get another piece, or we can attack the head. I'd like to attack the head of the king. You go here. Beautiful. I don't know what to tell you, Tom. This is beautiful endgame. Yeah, the bird maybe does have. I don't know what that means, Volare. So this is Tsume. I don't know if you have to take the gold first or drop the knight first. I would take the gold first. It doesn't matter, maybe in the end. This is beautiful. We take the silver, another checkmate red. And here we can just promote, but you notice you have a checkmate red. Beautiful. Yeah, so yes, this is faster. The checkmate, of course, mate in 3. You could also take here. Drop here or here, or here even. Or this, or even drop the gold here without taking. Yeah, there you had many ways to checkmate the king. But what's important is you got to this position and you checkmated the king, yeah? So it's easy to find a checkmate, but to get to this position is where the shogi art lies. Traditional kanji. It does look like it has this weird stroke here, right? Yeah, I don't know where it comes from. 81 down. 81 dojo 1 down. That's nice. Wait, what? 0 rating? Yeah, it says 0, but that's because it's a study room. No, Mifa. No. It's 1 down here. 1 down clearly. Your rating is the best rating. Yeah. I remember some people tried to sandbang their way to the lowest possible rating. I wonder if everybody achieved 0. All right. So, Tom, I don't know if you have any questions, but You do seem to understand what you're doing in this game. I'd recommend to put the king more in the castle here, but what was the rating of your opponent? 1 down as well, 2 down even. You exposed your opponent beautifully. You should be proud. So, beautiful. Well done. Yeah, you shouldn't do it, Mifa. You shouldn't do it. A little bit inconsistent. Well, we're gonna work on it. Next week you can send us some game that you lost so that we have something to compare it to. Maybe with a stronger leveled opponent, and this way we will know where lies your problem. But to this game, watching this game, I think you deserve that 1 down, or even higher. 81 wins, 81 losses, 81 consecutive wins. Negative rating, oh god. Yes, Nime it is, but it's last on the list, unfortunately. Next is Justice, who is Sente. We're not gonna make the same mistake again. Best of Canadians, okay, that explains it. Yeah. So, let's go. This move is too early because it creates a hole. Even if you defend it by counter bishop drop, there's another hole. And even if you defend it here, this piece can be defended. If you attack the bishop, it's exchange for the gold and this bishop dies. And therefore you're losing a gold for free. Or you just allow the enemy to get a horse, one or the other. Like you can fight this, I mean, but like, you know, it's a disadvantage. Yeah, be careful when you push this pawn. And we go for this. We play swinging rook, 4-5 rook. So generally, what's your rating, Justice? 2Q. Generally, you don't want to put this silver here immediately because you want to have you want to confuse your opponent. You want not to show your intentions immediately. And there's this Joseki where you use this silver instead. So you don't want to show it immediately, but it's fine. I mean, it's not a bad shape, but same here, right? You're showing your intention. So if I would be your opponent, I would be like, haha, immediately, yeah. Because I know you're going for an Aguma. I would stop castling my king and just go for it, yeah. But I mean, it's a good shape in general. This move by your opponent isn't the best. It's kind of confusing. So your opponent played this move, but he should play this move first, I think. Because the king safety is important. This isn't Joseki. Here your opponent is showing an aggressive move, but his king is not castled yet, making the bishop's head weak. But your pawn isn't developed yet, so... Okay, so your opponent made a weird stuff happen. So the Joseki would be to push this pawn in some situations. I would also consider ignoring it, because I mean, doesn't bother us, maybe. I mean, I have some concerns, but the fact that this pawn isn't pushed means that I'm safe still for now. The knight head is what concerns me now, so I'm not really happy with this pawn push, to be honest. Yeah, I think Gotha should have done something else, but you're center, right? So it doesn't matter. So as a center, you did your best here, so that's good. You took it pawn, and now you have a great attack on the knight's head. Yep, that's beautiful. Why isn't the king shown as O? Well, it is. You have both O and Gyok. O is used by the title holder. This one is used by the challenger, in case it's not a title match. Usually you give the Gyoku to the higher ranked or the older player or the person you want to show respect to. As a, you just say, please take it first, yeah? Type of Japanese politeness. So now we have established our great attack. We took the silver, cool. So I wanted to say, yes, we established that we had a promoted pawn, and then we should wonder about the defense, but justice attacked and defended at the same time. The rook and the silver were forked, so that's great. And now we're gonna open our rook line in order to move the token. Beautiful. The rook is attacked. Here we ignore it. Maybe, yeah, sure. And now we attack again. Beautiful. You escape all the pieces while attacking other pieces. Beautiful. Silver, no? Silver, like diagonal piece is better because diagonal piece connected to diagonal piece can continue checking if it's a gold. If the king escapes, it's not a check. Here, I think if you drop diagonal piece, it's a checkmate immediately. Like this. We need one more diagonal. Yeah. In that case, gold stays and it's a checkmate, yeah. Yeah, so just remember that in this situation, you want to create a shape like this. So both diagonal is better than gold. Reap. Thank you for the 1 beat. I think there's still semi traded all the pieces. Well, the thing here is not that semi, right? So compared to that, it's one move slower. Because this is Z. Zetto. So in this shape, you want to use the diagonal one. And here, yeah, if you take it or drop, that's a checkmate. Cool. Do you have any questions, Justice? You just destroyed your opponent, to be honest. So the point that I found is that you should push this silver later, perhaps, to conceal your strategy. And then you reacted properly on your opponent's attack. This fork was the decisive one. Just decided, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You didn't make any mistakes, Justice. Apart from this one, yeah. Just a small inaccuracy, I guess. Yeah, you did everything good. I mean, the opening you played left side Mino, right? Now the question is, how good is this move, right? Could your opponent do something better to like fight you? Probably. But considering that he did this, you played the proper moves. So, and unfortunately cannot give you much advice here. You played against 2Q, so I would recommend you stop playing against 2Q because you destroyed them. It's a hiragana. I mean, technically it's a... it used to be a kanji, the kanji ima, but then it evolved into to. Thank you for the follow-up, Poliana. Yeah, Justice, good job. I unfortunately cannot give you more advice here. It was very, very one-sided. Then we'll have Ken's game. Hopefully he's still awake. Why there's a figure or that? What do you mean? Hiragana? So he went to bed. Hopefully he's gonna watch the VOD. You were looking for a Shogi channel for some time? Finally found you. Welcome, welcome. You can always be notified about our other friendly channels being live on our Discord. If you go in and go into choose role, always notified role will ping you whenever there is a Shogi streamer going on. Static. Gotcha. Just next week, she show another game and we figure out what went wrong. Hey, Adrian, thank you for resubscribing. 18 months. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you as well for doing the Shogi Weekly ladder. Everybody enjoys it. You're awake. Cool, Kent. All right, let's go. Let's flip the board. Kent is now on the bottom. He's Gote. They're both using the same avatar? Wait. Oh no, it flipped now. All right. The flipping made the avatar not load. Okay, so we're going 4-5 rook. This website, guys, if you don't know, it's called Shogi Wars. It's a mobile application, but it's a very quick time Shogi. 10 seconds for move or 3 minutes, 10 minutes without Biomi. 3 or 10 minutes. So this game was 10-second Biomi BC because he has 9 seconds here. So that isn't the worst. The timeout Shogi is the worst. So here we can see a similar strategy to what we've seen in the previous game. Quickly moving the silver to attack the 7-6 pawn. And now we force the enemy to block the bishop line. We're quite happy because of it. We finish the Mino castle and we go for the opposing rook. Okay. Now we going here to attack the knight. Here I don't think Ibisha has to do anything yet. But they drop the pawn which blocked the rook, so... yeah. So that's very good pawn push, guys. If there are any beginners, it seems like it can be taken, this pawn. But all we're trying to do is expose this square for the bishop promotion. So for example, if the silver takes, we can promote the bishop taking the knight, right? So that's very painful looking pawn. We of course have to be careful of this pawn push that's gonna attack our rook. Let's see what the opponent does. He just took it, takes, and the bishop promotes. So we lost silver for a knight. It's a little bit of disadvantage, but bishop promotion pays off nicely. Yeah, they didn't pay the tax. Sentes, thank you. Well, you could go here, Kent, attacking the silver, rather than allowing them to push the pawn. I think attacking the silver was better, no? Here they got a token, so... it's not the best move from your opponent. Yeah, so here we lose the interest in the silver anymore, I think. We should find about different ways to attack, but I see that you want to expose this move by a knight drop. Knight drop, right? Knight drop, right? We drop the lance to block their horse, to drop a knight, right, Kent? Right? That's why we wanted to block the bishop line? What is the meaning of the toe piece? Well, so all the promoted pieces, the small ones, those are the gold kanji that's written in more, I don't know how to translate it to English, like messed up kanji writing. Like there are many ways of handwriting a kanji, and those are different styles of writing the same kanji. But to apparently came from a different kanji than other, so it doesn't mean gold, it means ima, which means now, and I'm not sure why. Because the ima is read as kin as well, I think. So they used a different kanji of their same reading to describe another piece. That's what I know. It's not cursive, social, yeah. Yeah, it makes you nervous. Okay, but yeah, the night drop here would be perfect targets, yeah? You did it anyway, cool. Now we can expose... Oh, why didn't we move the horse, though? It's better to save up a piece, right? Horse would be better, I think. So that we activate it. And again, if we have a horse here, if they drop the lance, we can drop a pawn, maybe. So that's like a lighter version of attack. We keep the gold for later. Yeah, it's kuzush. So it's disturbed kanji, or write in cursive. Okay, I guess that's cursive style then, according to this. Write in cursive or running style, whatever that means. One of those styles, yeah. Maybe the social style. I don't understand what's the difference between those two, but they are one of those, yeah. Why did talking come from another kanji? To perhaps, I don't know, to perhaps make a distinction between two pieces? They all move like gold, but in order to write in a different way? If I remember correctly, hiragana was used by females. So maybe they wanted to not use hiragana. And they used the kanji for ima, kin. Or maybe because the talking was a kanji to begin with, and then it changed to to, you know? Maybe. We don't know. I don't know. Yeah, gyokusho. Okay. Did I say gyokusho? Gyosho, yeah. Yeah, so here we sacrifice the whole lance. We gave away the golds when we could have done it beforehand, right? And yeah, here we go here, we take it. Yeah, cool, cool. The bishop is better. The bishop is better because we have control over this square, but the king runs here. Maybe that's what we wanted to avoid, so you took it with the rook. You have Atsume here. You have Atsume here. I mean, probably in the line you played also it ends up being Sume. If he drops a piece here, then what do you take it with? If he drops the lance here, you take, he goes, yeah, that's also Tsume. Cool. Yeah, the gold drop also works. King takes lance drop, king runs. Pound push, king takes silver up, king goes up, and then the horse can help the king to checkmate. This looks like checkmate, but there is a rook protecting here, so it doesn't work. Hiragana is heavily based on social. I see. All right. Kent, so I think it was just a middle game mistake with the gold drop. Apart from that, I think you attacked well. Here, I would prefer to go here. But yeah, your opponent wasn't the most... Here I would go with the knight and take this and then move my horse, and this way they don't have the lance to defend with. You see that the difference, right? Here they don't have the lance to defend with. So if you don't take the lance, it becomes very painful for them. Even if they promote, we just lose a lance and they promote the lance, doesn't do much. But I think we could have considered that. Now, if you take it now, the horse should take, I think. And this way the fight would continue. So knight drop first was the better one. And yeah, here's quite heavy attack, so I didn't like it. Yeah. But yeah, good job. 10 seconds is quite rough. I think you played well. Here you could consider taking the lance, king runs and drop the silver in order to set up a hishi instead of tsume. I think that's a cool way to finish this game faster, yeah? Also, you have a tsume here. Silver drop. King takes, knight drop. King runs here, silver drop. King runs here, silver drop, yeah? So here was a tsume. You missed that tsume, I guess. So this is tsume, so this is better then. Yeah, this is tsume. I consider horse take the lance. I don't 7 for 1 here. I don't know what you mean. But yep, you destroyed him. You call the figures by the English name. Is it similar to chess? Yes, I mean it's called Japanese chess for a reason, and as I explained before, it comes from a chess game which is Makruk. So it is a variant. We call it variant of chess, but it's not directly connected to chess. It has the same roots. And we call it by English name because chess is familiar to many people in Europe, and pawn is a universal piece that you can understand. So we could call it Fuhyo, we could do it like this, but the kanji is already difficult. So somehow we ended up translating it to pawn, rook, bishop, which are chess names, and the pieces which didn't have a name, we make up names for them like lance, silver and gold generals. Yeah. It is. It has the same rule. It has the same roots. You have to capture the king. So it is very closely related to chess. All right, next we have Siyov, who is Gote. Siyov here. And any questions, Siyov? We can now turn it so that Gote is on the bottom. Well, where does Makrub come from, little magician? What do you mean, not a coincidence? Every game has some form of history to it, right? Makruk, Thai chess, is descended from the 6th century Indian game of Chaturanga, or a close relative of, and therefore related to chess. So in the same way, we can say Shogi is likely a descendant from Makruk, which makes it descendant of Chaturanga, and therefore related to chess. We can say the same about Shogi. All right, Ayasumi Kent. Yeah. But the general thing is like Chaturanga was first, and then many games were inspired from it, and then it somehow ended in Japan. That's like the general theory, but nobody knows for sure. I mean, they didn't make it up by themselves. It came to Japan somehow. It is the theory they're taking. Sio, any question about this game in particular? So you're playing against So you exchange the bishops here. Usually you don't want to exchange bishops like this. You want to force your opponent, CO, to exchange the bishops by pushing this pawn. Because this exchange is beneficial to you. And usually what happens is they move the silver up. Then you cannot exchange here because of the bishop drop, so you defend the silver. And then they defend. So that will be a bishop exchange opening, right? Or maybe, yeah. Crank, I don't know crank. Anyway, that's the theory. I'm telling you what I heard. I'm not a historian myself, so. So you lost a move here, CO. This is why it feels like you're underdeveloped. Now you see your opponent comes here. So if we want to continue playing static rook, we have to come up with defensive strategy. Your idea was to put the silver here. Now your opponent moved the silver here, which means they're gonna come here to attack here. So I would consider moving the gold here to help defense. Yagura is not a good shape against bishop exchange, but you can have this bishop exchange Yagura, which keeps the king closer to the center. But the idea is to not allow him to break your center. So yeah, here they could like go for a silver exchange. I guess you... Okay, that doesn't work actually. You could push this pawn and force them backward and then do the shape. All right, so that's fine. They cannot push because your king is here protecting, so you take the silver for free. Although there is this bishop drop, making it complicated. Rook comes here. Surviving, right? No, not surviving. Making the position very messy, yeah? But material-wise, it's not a bad deal, but if we could have avoided it, probably it was better to avoid it. High risk, high return. Yeah. The opponent has the king and rook very close to each other, so that's a bad theory. We ask beginners to not play this way. So yeah, here we don't care about the edge yet. We don't need it yet. Here is to make the king escape route, but our king is not there yet, so we have to figure out what we want to do. Exchanging this pawn is always beneficial to us, Siov. I don't know if you heard about this proverb. Exchanging the rook pawn gives you free benefits. Have you heard about this, Siov? Free benefits you have. 1. You get a pawn in hand. Yeah? 2. Your rook is directly looking at the opponent's camp. 3. Your knight or silver will be able to move to this square where the pawn previously was. Alright, Siov. I'm gonna pretend you are here and talk to you. So that is the way we can utilize this. Nimi, I'm not gonna stretch and hydrate at the same moment. It would make me die. Oh god. Fine, stretch. Definitely what I did. 1 hour of streaming. Chinchilla noise. Hydrate combo activation. Plus the exchange gives you an opportunity to move to rook to a different square when retreating. Yes, that's also true, time zombie. So they come here. We can we can punish silver for coming here, leading to that very dangerous variation. So maybe we want to avoid that dangerous variation. We jump with the knight, making it even more dangerous. Okay. Yeah, so now... Ooh, there's a direct rook sacrifice. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see why this is dangerous, right? Then you still win this game somehow. No. Yes? Maybe. How do you win this game? How do you win this game? Theo, you magician. There has to be some Nifu, is it? What is your opponent doing? What is his level? 5Q, alright. This is the best thing. Thanks, Mifa. Oh my god. Your opponent is destroying you, Theo. You have no attack. Alright, so let's start with the beginning of the whole situation. So we put our king in a dangerous spot, which we should have avoided maybe by protecting here. This move, I know what you're thinking. You are like, if he pushes and he takes, I'm gonna drop the pawn. But yeah, unfortunately that knight is contested. And unfortunately it's going to be taken, giving another piece to your opponent's hand. Or part of the plan. So here I would prefer to... Yeah, taking also doesn't look safe anymore. So instead of this, I would go here, I think, just to make it safe for myself. Yes, they can exchange here, who cares? It's their option. And then I would castle my king, or exchange the rook pawn, or do both. And then we have both pawn in hand and still an equal game, but his king is closer to the center. But the king, the most offensive piece is the king. Okay, yeah, so here basically what's happening, your king is like a ball. He's being juggled all around the board, and when that happens, that's usually a bad sign. Yeah, here you have to drop a silver to defend the gold. If they do this, you have to escape. They will continue attacking you, but then you can take this silver and perhaps survive long enough. I don't know. It looks very scary. If you dropped here and go here, this direction perhaps is better, but then the pawn drop you take... No, they can drop the gold. Now silver is protecting that, so that's double protection, so that's good. Maybe this line would be better. Yeah, we talked about... We have those Thursday streams, guys, about where we read Japanese book about modern shogi strategies. And we had this proverb saying... from a famous Takeda Shingen, like a samurai lord, and he said, "Your people are your castle." Yeah. So in shogi, we've seen this happening. We less often see castles like Yagura or Anaguma. We see the pieces like move forward and attack. So yeah, maybe the ultimate thing is that the king is joining the battle. Fight with the army, yeah. And yeah, generally we would like to avoid dropping big pieces in our camp for two reasons. One, because they're very effective in the attack, and two, they're very bad defenders. Yeah, and in this case, it didn't capture the gold. Here, basically, you are dying slowly. What your opponent had to do is to find a better way to attack your king. Can he... I think he can promote this knight here. Because if you take the dragon, they have a rook drop. I think that was much better. And if they take the silver here, they can attack your king and take this silver. So here you are losing, clearly. You have no attack on the enemy's king, even if there's a bishop there. So that would be losing to you. Now you made some magic. Your opponent should have taken this pawn again, make a check, forcing you to use another piece, and then taking the bishop safely. This way, his rook won't be under attack on the next move, and you used an attacking piece to defend. Here, again, taking it is the worst idea. He goes for a... Ooh, okay, yeah. He goes for a Hishi, under attack. And he should keep the pressure. He should keep the pressure. Make a checkmate threat instead of taking the gold. This is checkmate threat. This way you're losing as well. Here he gives you more pieces. You're defending with all your might. He tries to activate the dragon, which is not optimal. He could have dropped the bishop here to continue attacking. I'm trying to find out if he has checkmate with this. Something like this. If he takes knight drop. But barely... Yeah, this is checkmate actually. Yeah. Right? So silver drop takes, go here. Barely not a checkmate. Maybe barely not a checkmate. Maybe I'm missing something. This is a beautiful way to win. Well, definitely. Definitely, but maybe silver gold drop first is the same thing, right? Yeah. Anyway, around here, your opponent... no, next move, right? Here. Here he also might have a checkmate with the same line I just shown. Because now he has one more general. So, yeah. You go for a checkmate here or you defend. That's the only option your opponent has. You outplayed him so hard. So hard. Well, why is he not polite? He says something in the chat? Well, then it's the best feeling in the world to destroy a player like that. Cool. Winning against your rival. But yeah, in order for you to improve, yeah? You've seen why you're losing. I've shown you clearly that you are losing. I've shown you the value of this pawn exchange, and I proposed to you a castle against the bishop exchange. His king... Think of it this way. His king is in a very bad position, and he has no easy way to improve that position. Which means... Okay, in Shogi we have two ways to win. Have a better attack or have a better defense. Yeah, Anaguma is an example of having a better defense. So if you keep improving your defenses, in the end game you will have easier time surviving, and in the end game you will have a faster attack as a result. So it's not a mistake to invest in defenses like this, yeah? Not a mistake. Especially that his king cannot do that. By doing so, and him realizing that he cannot improve his king, he will be forced to attack you. And usually that leads to an impossible line, which is easily punishable. Here he doesn't even have such options. Maybe exchange here at most. But then you just castle. It's fine, yeah? So slowly you make your king better. I don't know. he would try something like this, perhaps. You make your king better, and then because he gave you more pieces in hand, it will be easier for you to attack as well. That's my playstyle that I like to do. Here you would like to exchange it at some point, and then abuse the fact that there's some pressures here. You can abuse like a pawn drop, leading to a bishop drop type of stuff, for example, yeah. You don't want to attack the silver. This silver is in a bad position in front of the pawns, so you just want to leave it there. Do not give him a hostage piece, just leave it there. Attack him where it's weak, and it's weak here because the silver left, yeah. And then, yeah, this was a very bad timing to attack, to go for this, because you gave him just a piece in hand, yeah. And now you see what it led to. Alright, so that was your game. Next we're gonna go to Lily's Panic versus Lily. It's a game that they wanted to show me the whole week. They waited a long time because something happened, apparently. Something happened during the game and I was supposed to see it. So let's see that. I suspect we both going to get roasted for this game. There was a small debate about how much of my extreme luck and how much of the Lily's hubris and overplay, and then Lily chimed in to say that most of it was her needing to go to the bathroom the whole time. I wonder how pros manages her bathroom. How did you use the time in this game? It's 20 minutes. You go to the bathroom before the Biomi, Lily. She wasn't even in Biomi, Panic. She wasn't even in the Biomi. It says 3 minutes left. What makes it more funny? I'm gonna go on a bathroom break now, so be right back. And this is how you deal with a bathroom break, Lily. So. I mean, I would understand, like, oh no, this game is in Biomi and you have to run. And there is a famous professional story where in Shorekai, it's, you probably know Segawa Pro. You know how Shorekai works. They play an amount of games and best to become pro. And he played a game, and depending on the result of the game, he could become pro. And if he didn't win that game, he had to retire as a Shorekai. And his opponent had to go in toilet in Biomi. He had Biomi, Segawa had more time. And the pro ran, his opponent ran to the toilet, and he had this option of playing a move and winning on time. And he didn't do that. And then he failed to become pro. And then years later, he came back through the pro examination to become a pro again. So it's part of the story. So yep, the pro technique is to go to toilet before the Biomi starts. Usually, like when you have like 10 to 5 minutes left, you go, come back. And then good luck. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna watch the game. This is the game, right? I loaded it. Let me load it again just in case. Okay. All right, let's see it. So Panic is center and Lily's Gote, and they're playing Aigakari, opening double wing attack with King 6-8. Okay. It's quite passive from Panic to go here instead of here. And then Lily goes for Twisting Rook. So Lily made the the normal Mino, and she's gonna put the king here. The rook is going to come here and then here, all right? Which is quite smart, considering that Time Zombie moved his gold before checking on the opponent's strategy. I remember seeing Toyoshima go to the bathroom when he had only a few minutes left against Fuji in the title match. I was astonished that he would not running at all and was shuffling slowly. Well, you don't run. They spend hours of thinking on a tricky position. They have all the time in the world. It's fine. You don't have to run. He wasn't in Biomi. He has time. So Lily, the move you do is you play here. The rook exchange is definitely disadvantageous to center, because there are many rook drops possible, and here there aren't. And that forces your opponent to drop a pawn, and then you go here. That gives you more advantage to the situation. Trying to think of some variations, but it's fine. We're gonna see the game. No. No. Okay. So you took it. So it means you have a plan, right? You have a plan, right? No, you don't have a plan. So, yeah, you shouldn't take it, Panic. You shouldn't take it. You should drop the pawn. Then make your king in a better position. I think that would be a possible way to go. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have taken. And then there's this, you have no pawn in hand. That's very bad. And then Lily decides to not defend. Okay. So I think that this rook drop is better than the other one, because it keeps your castle intact. And then your gold is on the bottom, which means he defends all those squares. So I would prefer that rook drop, I think. Yeah, I would prefer this rook drop. Yeah? Yeah. Now here we can drop the bishop, takes, rook drop, drops the rook, takes. And it's fine, right? As well. I cannot tell if it's good or bad move. I mean, the idea is simple, to take the silver and then continue attacking. So the idea is good. I just don't know if it's the most efficient way to do it. You could try to push the pawn, and pawn takes, but then the promotion gets in and it's troublesome. So it is quite painful, but I see Time Zombie played this move, which is quite courageous one. Now taking this knight was quite courageous as well. Dropping the knight first is better, no? See where the king goes and answer depending on that. You take here and he goes here. I would prefer to have my dragon here to take the silver, right? But I mean, still work. I'm bamboozled. I think it was a mistake to take the knight. But it still seems to be working, so... Okay. Now this dragon sacrifice hurts indeed. Time Zombie being... Your Tsume improved so much, Time Zombie. You improved so much. Those Lily Evil Tsumes are working. Jeez. Look, Meg, because Lance drop 3-8 says Mew. 3-8. At here you can take the silver though. And then take this. I wasn't sure about this line, Nimu. 4-8. 4-8 is the same thing. Okay, Lance takes, but then silver drop. That was my reasoning that I didn't like. If the gold takes, it's kind of weird. Then we take the knight, and those two pieces are useless. So that's what I didn't like. I mean, this king is still safe. So yeah, I think Lily did a little bit Tenju Zengo, a little order move mistake. I think the knight drop should be first. And the dragon being captured was painful. She tried to exchange and attack severely. Time Zombie goes for a counter here, which is kind of interesting. Knight drop, beautiful defense. Knight drop. Here, having two rooks in hand is so powerful for Time Zombie right now. The counter possibilities are very, very scary, right? You thought she must be seeing things. Yeah, so here, if the king escapes, though. Just knight promotion, right? That's winning as well. Takes, takes, takes. Again, king runs. It's better shape, but rook drop. King runs. Leads to some very complicated sume, most likely. You don't have to go for Tsume though, right? You can just drop a silver here, maybe. Something. If you drop the gold, that's the main idea. King takes is a checkmate. King runs, you just take the gold. Gold takes... Seems to be too much of a sacrifice to just go for Hishi, so I would go for Hishi here, maybe. Silver drop for 1. If we take, it's a rook drop. If king takes... You say gold drop, gold takes, silver drop, king runs. Idea have rook promotion after taking the gold. Yes, you're right. You're actually right. But then he goes here and then the rook drop. Yes, yellow, you're right. But then the king runs simply as a possibility. We take here, we go here. That's another line we have to consider. And I also couldn't see this. Isn't it mate? Says Abigail. Well, he can run here, right? We promote, then we run. Go here or something. It's not decisive enough for me. It barely... Like the king runs here, that's the problem, right? So we could consider this, sacrifice, take. But the gold protects here, and king goes here, gold drops, so king goes here, and it's not... Oh, nice jump. King goes here. Okay, what I'm thinking is something like this, and then king goes here, and I don't think this is made, right? And then if we drop the gold here, takes 6 stays, gold drop, king runs. It's not a checkmate. But yeah, silver drop is working. So king runs, promotes, runs is the problem. But yeah, we could play a different move here. Dragon takes 3-3. What? You mean this line, right? Also, no, it doesn't matter. You said dragon takes 3-3? No, silver drop dragon 3-3, I think. The runs. Also, taking means we do. Taking also doesn't mean it's a checkmate, right? Because we have to drop the gold, king goes here. And we have a... no. If we drop the silver... So that would be check if it go down because the gold movement or the gold drop. We go here, gold takes, silver takes. King runs up is checkmate, so king runs here. And it's made after gold drop 3-4. King runs. Promotion. Beautiful. We got our answer. Thank you, Yellow. So this is a mate as well. Abigail. I mean, I didn't count what happens if he runs away, but it seemed quite... We have more pieces, so I assumed there is a mate with the dragon here. Sacrifice the dragon here. I assumed, but I didn't check. Yeah, it is. So the last line, basically, I'm worried about king escaping here. And yellow agrees that it looks like no mate. Yeah, but because we have no tsume, basically, turn, king runs. I said I need a hishi, but actually we're in trouble, right? Over here. If we allow this to be a hishi, this is the mate, actually. So I missed it. So you're saying that rook drop instead of the gold drop would prevent that? Yes. Nope, silver takes. Takes, runs, and we arrive at the same... Was it this line? My brain doesn't work anymore. I think this works, right? Simply, the simplest line is this one. Right? Alright. We found it. We found it thanks to yellow. So it's not a gold drop, it's a rook drop. And also to make it more complex, we could drop the rook here instead. Yeah. This would force to drop another piece here. Go takes. That would give us an additional piece in hand, right? To checkmate the king as well. Like a lance or something, yeah. So yeah, that's a mate. Good to know. And the final variation was this. So that's cool. If you wanna be cool, you can go here, Panic. But yeah, your line works. It works. Without using the silver. Beautiful. Beautiful. So yeah, I think the critical point was this dragon being captured. Because it seems like Lily is slowly running out of pieces, right? Then Panic counterattacks, beautifully exposing the king and finding Tsume. A really good Shogi time zombie. Yeah, so it seems like Lily's training is really paying off. Panic is clearly getting stronger every time. So one thing, guys, if you solve Tsume to train, it doesn't matter if you solve it or not. The fact that you spend hours on thinking of the variation means you train your brain to imagine the variations, right? So just thinking about the endgame positions is a good training, yeah? It doesn't need to be successful every time or perfectly accurate every time. Just use your time, think about the position that makes you stronger, yeah? Alright, thank you, Panic and Lily. Really good fight. So yeah, Lily doing that rook thing before moving into third fight, I would recommend. And then 3-1 rook, I would recommend. And yeah, defend against the bishop would be preferable, I think. But it was very, very good fight from both sides. Very exciting to watch. Yeah, but double rook in hand is such a powerful counter-attacking tool. Okay, we're gonna go to... Actually, we're running out of time slowly. We have 1, 2, 3 Kifu left. Nimue, once more, I will do your Kifu with the computer analysis and post the result on Discord, if you're fine with that. And Mifa, I think you just wanted to show us a game, right? So maybe we can do it quickly. Ion, do you want an analysis on Discord as well to make it more detailed? If that's so, we would finish on this Kifu, which is a rook handicap. Wait, I said rook handicap. You cannot believe that you survived? You don't mind. Alright, thank you, Yellow. I shall do it on the Discord then. You guys will be able to see the game commentary on the Shogi Games, let's say. I'm gonna post it in Shogi Games and I'm gonna ping you, Yellow and Nimue. And then let's see this game. Yeah. So this is a rook handicap. Where Matthias is attacking early, making third file rook, Shida style. And this is what we talked about today in the swinging rook, being in front of the enemy pawns. You can see how cramped it looks, especially with the knight, the giant behind it. It can be easily targeted. And yes, and this silver next, threaten the rook. So this is a shape you would like to avoid when you're playing the double swinging rook. So in this case, Mifa has an option to like exchange the bishop and the silver at any time. But beforehand, he decides to do something on this side, expose the fact that both silvers are hanging, right? Really cool exchange here. And then instead of moving the silver, which would allow exchange, we actually drop one. We lose this silver, but having a rook in hand is more... Mifa is more able to do some counter attacks. I imagine Matthias has one silver and one knight. So what do we have? We have silver knight for a rook, but this bishop is very active as compared to this bishop. And let's see what happens. Taking here, dropping the rook, exposing the weakness in the camp, taking the lance. So we had silver knight disadvantage, but now we're back to silver disadvantage, right? And this bishop is just... It's like this bishop doesn't exist, yeah? It's so attacked. So that's why we sacrifice the pieces. We want the enemy camp to be destroyed, and then we want to get the material back by attacking this destroyed shape, yeah? Therefore, deleting the disadvantage that we had. Lance drop, interesting. Okay, knight... The king is very weak though, right? Looks like there is still a chance. Like, yeah, I would like to attack here, but dragon is so strong over here. It's very hard to use that piece. Did we just sacrifice the bishop for the lance? Yes, we did. Okay. This is a check. So actually, that's a very good attack from Matthias. Putting the king into the corner. And here... If he has a silver and a gold, this would be a checkmate. So here I would use a lance to defend, rather. I don't know, Mifa, what do you think? This way we still have this checkmate threat, right? So that would be hard to defend, I'd imagine. This knight cannot be taken because there's another knight underneath. But you said just endgame problem. I cannot believe myself that I survived. I did the analysis and turned out that I can get away. How would you get away here, by the way, Mifa? You cannot drop a pawn. You only have a silver drop. If you drop it on 7-2, there's a gold drop. On 6-2, like after sacrifice. If you drop on 7-1, the Maybe 6 to silver. Pawn 6-5. All right, yeah. Activating the bishop. So now if we drop the silver, king goes here and it's not a checkmate anymore. But we have to consider moves like this. We have to consider come back. We have to consider moves like this. And then maybe like eyeing the dragon somehow. It's not good enough, I think, but we have to consider those moves. That was the option I had. Or silver 7-1. With this, I think there's a silver drop here, right? But yet, anyway, that bishop will be probably used somewhere in the line. Then king goes here, then this goes here. How do you survive that? So it's a checkmate with a gold drop to here. We can try to drop the silver. The question is here or here. There's the knight that's attacking that square. Let's say here to keep the bishop line open. So we're gonna take it. If the king takes, it looks like a checkmate. So the silver has to take, continuing the defense. The king still seems very, very weak. Yeah, but surviving, I guess. The knight jumps in, let's say. It's not a checkmate threat. But you also don't have any checkmate threats. So let's assume we plan on silver drop next. And silver takes, bishop takes. It's not decisive enough, but we could consider taking and then dropping the gold here maybe. But the bishop retakes, right? So how about silver drop here next? Okay, so you're saying bishop 7-5 to 6-4, all right? What if we drop the silver here again, right? Then you take here, perhaps? Before this. Before this. Before which? Here, you mean? Silver move back. You mean silver drop? You mean here? I hope you mean this. Yeah, this way we don't have a silver in hand, right? Yeah, that's much harder. Like, we could pressure this bishop, but I guess you're gonna take the lance. We could try to maybe take another piece in hand, but definitely we don't have... Okay, then the other option is to get the bishop in hand for 2 pieces and try to do some magic with it, but it's really hard. Yeah, I agree, this looks difficult still. I don't see obvious move. Interesting. Thanks, Mifa. So yeah, the bishop difference was big. Seems like there could be some chance, but I assume now Matthias doesn't have enough pieces to continue attacking. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Escape. So yeah, defending just enough to have enough of a defense. And then you escape, actually. Defending enough so that you have some counter, but actually you're defending everything, all right? And rebuilding the castle. So this is how you defend in Shogi, guys. You just rebuild your castle. Mifa, oh. That's sad indeed. But yeah, like Mifa just rebuilt the castle and now he's able to slowly attack using the horse and the rook. So he utilizes his piece advantage not by finding a checkmate, but by putting his king in a safe position and then attacking slowly. So that's a defensive way of like winning shogi, but in this situation it was unavoidable because the enemy is over attacking and you want to expose it. Yeah, if you go for the counter, you're gonna lose. Your king is much more unsafe. So Mifa had to make his king safe by taking the attackers, putting a pressure on them. Yes, he lost the bishop for the gold, but the gold is the better defensive piece. The opponent doesn't have a pawn to expose this knight. And as a result, he was able to rebuild the castle. It's pretty cool, I think. Yeah, it is magical indeed. Thank you, Mifa, for sharing this. It was very interesting. Alright, so I will have Eon's game with Mifa as well commented on the Discord. It's gonna be a bishop handicap, and Nimiu also gonna be commented on Discord. I will try to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow I have my first German lesson. Yay! Yep, and everyone who gifted today, who got subscribed today, we're gonna add you to our Guardians of the Harbor on our Discord. The registration for Tourney Series 5, I think it's 5, will start soon. So guys, keep looking for it on our Discord. I was told that you can reach 2-dan on Shogi Wars 3-minute Kiremake by continuously rebuilding your castle. Well, if you play against strong player, it's not this easy, but yeah. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I'm pretty sure many people enjoyed Mifa's play. Pretty sure. It's really good, guys, to like watch the higher rated players' game as well. For example, if you watch pro games, it's really hard to understand the intention. But if you watch higher level plays, like for example, you're 5Q and you watch 1Q play, you can learn something. You can understand the ideas because the level is closer. So even learning from Mifa, yeah, who's not a professional, it will be quite a nice experience, and it will be easier to understand than pro moves. So I recommend you like go to 81 Dojo, search for like done players and like double click boop 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 and take a look what they're doing, learn from them. Yeah, and as they're playing, it's much cooler. You can think what I would do during real time. Watching the Kifu sometimes is boring, but you're excited like, oh, I would play this. Oh, why you didn't play this move? Yeah, and then you realize this was a Nifu or something. It's much more exciting to watch it live and then maybe perhaps comment in the chat with other people, compare the ideas. I recommend you guys do that as well. Yeah, 81 Dojo is really cool because it's easy. You can see everyone's levels and you can watch quickly. I saw 2-6-dan playing 20 moves deep into Anaguma Joseki. It was really cool, and afterwards I studied it more on my own. I learned lots of very common patterns. Cool. And yeah, welcome everybody new people that joined our Discord. Hopefully, Mifa, you're gonna rejoin the Discord as well. We gonna want to see you play the TTK next season. But take your time. You know your strategy now? Yeah, Nima's favorite strategy. All right. Any questions left? Or should we wrap up? The next stream will be on Tuesday. We're coming back with our chess shogi streams with Paul. Yeah, it's gonna start soon, so. And the book reading will be on Tuesday Thursday as well. Yeah. And maybe we can do another Friday stream with mobile shogi apps that we're gonna compare and choose the best mobile app, hopefully. Yeah, it will be fun. It will be fun, Mifa. Yeah, the TTK, I think the rule we had was 5 done. Introduction and rules. TTK, 5 done and above. So 5 done include that. Yeah. Thank you, CEO. Yeah, and if you don't know what Turning to Series is, boom, here is the link. I will have to modify the rules a little bit before we start the new season, but yeah. I can't wait for it. Cool, Nimi, cool. Remember that we will have handicap games at the end of this month on the 30th in 3 weeks. Cool. We'll have all the winners of previous season, those winners here joining us. Yeah, just tweak some, like we didn't mention the certificate thing. Somebody pointed out that I didn't mention the certificate thing as a reward. And for example, this time we won't be playing against Katagami. We're gonna play against Tobe Sensei, actually. Oh, I didn't say that. It's gonna be Tobe Sensei this time. Why no handicap? Because we decided that you guys are too strong for that. Katagami Sensei advised that it would be too strong of a player to do so, but we could discuss that in the future, because this time we're getting professionals from Nekomado, so maybe we're gonna try something new. And thank you guys for cheering and subscribing. Those all those dollars, I guess, that you're giving me. I'm investing in those pro games. Yeah, we're gonna have really cool pro games from Nekomado that I will have to pay for, and maybe next season too. Maybe next season also for TTK. We're gonna discuss this on the Discord. Not making any promises though. Just discussing the options. Not francs. Am I playing for francs? No, I think dollars times zombie. I think dollars. Alright, thank you guys so much. I will see you on Tuesday and on Discord, of course. Thank you so much for sending all of your games. Nemu and Eon Grey gonna get their commentary soon afterwards. Thank you so much and bye bye. Have a nice weekend and a great start of a new week. Bye bye.